I remember my first trip to Oxford Street, and I remember the thrill of the buzzing vitality of that street in the late 1960s, early 1970s. And I remember through into the 90s, the fun of Oxford Street and the way it led on to other hidden delights like Soho Square, the most beautiful throbbing heart of Britain's film industry. And this Oxford Street, to me, has always been a pulsing artery in London's shopping heart, and it's undergoing yet another surgical plan at a time when it's quite frankly, in the last few times that I've been to London, it's very frankly failing. And it's failing, I think, not because of traffic down Oxford Street, though that's a misery, but because the shops are closing. And this time, Sir Sadiq Khan wants to pedestrianise almost the entire stretch from Marble Arch to Great Portland Street, a grand £150 million transformation buoyed by a majority in a public consultation backed by big retailers like Selfridges and IKEA, given a green light, it seems, from Angela Rayner and City Hall. But the question is not merely how people will walk down Oxford Street, it's why. Because the problem isn't simply the presence of traffic, it's the absence of trade. Once upon a time, Oxford Street was a symbol of retail glory, the so-called nation's high street. 500,000 visitors a day, the Christmas lights, the crush of red buses, the bag-laden shoppers spilling out of Topshop, HMV, Debenhams. Now it's an echo chamber of boarded-up shop fronts, candy shops full of fake goods, empty, eerily empty flagships. Pedestrianisation may ease the journey, but will there still be anywhere to go once you've removed the cars? And the plan will reroute 16 bus lines, reduce remaining traffic, and ban cyclists during trading hours. The vision is a European-style promenade. But Oxford Street isn't Barcelona's Las Ramblas or Copenhagen's main street. It's been ravaged by online retail, pandemic aftershocks, rising rents, years of policy hesitation. And no one's really answered this. With fewer vehicles, will that mean more shops? Or will that mean more shoppers? Looking at the details, Sadiq Khan is pressing ahead with a mayoral developmental corporation, a political move that takes powers from Westminster and from Camden Council. And it's a show of mayoral muscle. Well, I remember not so long ago, I was walking down Tottenham Court Road and I tripped on some completely absurd curbing in the middle of the street. And I gave myself a black eye and I was about to do some filming. And because the filming was taking place, I was persuaded not to see a doctor. So I didn't have a doctor's report, and I then tried to get help from the mayor's office. Not interested. They sent me to Camden Town Council. Not interested. And I went round and round and round and round and round. And in the end, after I think 2 or 3 months had elapsed, somebody said, "Well, this might be something you could take forward if you have a doctor's certificate." And I just thought, yeah, well, there you are, you see. And it's nonsensical. And I'm not convinced that the mayor's office is the right thing to be moving this forward. The area between Marble Arch and Oxford Circus will be closed to most vehicles. Plans may extend further east towards Tottenham Court Road, and the promise is this global leader for shopping, leisure and outdoor events. And yet much of the street is already traffic-free. Buses have dropped from 130 per hour to just 35. Private cars are long gone. So if traffic isn't the core issue, is this pedestrianisation plan treating the symptom instead of the disease? We need to remember what we've lost. The flagship Topshop, Debenhams, BHS, Forever 21, Miss Selfridge, HMV, huge loss. All reduced to a fraction of their former presence. Tourists still arrive in droves, but what they find in Oxford Street is disappointing. Rows of souvenir stalls, dodgy vape emporiums, this thing which is selling candy. Well, candy isn't even it isn't even a British word. We think sweet store, but a what was once an M&S turned into a battleground for redevelopment. I suppose in time that will re-emerge. But we must ask: is pedestrianisation revival or is it repackaging decline? Will slowing footfall actually be cured by a car-free zone, or will it merely have an elegant boulevard flanked by sweet wrappers and charity shop clearance bins? Will you put your sweet wrappers in the charity shop clearance bins? The absurdity of this. How will the elderly get from one end of Oxford Street to the other? To be fair, many stakeholders are on board. John Lewis, Selfridges, and IKEA have all publicly endorsed the scheme. So there's real hope, perhaps even sincere hope, that a cleaner, quieter street will bring a better mix of retail, culture, and leisure. Perhaps al fresco dining will bloom where Weatherspoons once stood. But businesses support what appears to be the only plan going. There's no parallel vision for lowering rents, incentivising small traders, or curbing the fake retail plaguing the street. And there's political risk. If the Conservatives regain Westminster Council in 2026, legal challenges may follow. Is this ambition, or is this theatrical urbanism? So yes, pedestrianisation is bold, it's popular in the polls, it's full of promise, but it's not in and of itself a salvation. Before we redesign the pavement, we need to ask who is left to walk on it. And before we carve out tree-lined plazas and pop-up theatres, we must secure what the street has already lost: credibility, diversity and trade. And before we praise this plan as revolutionary, we must remember a traffic-free zone with no thriving shops is not a shopping destination, it's a museum of the past. And Oxford Street deserves more than a facelift. It needs to regain its soul.